I was actually shocked that this defendant managed to get as far as he did without somebody shooting him.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I bring you an update on the Las Vegas courtroom jumper attacker. He has been sentenced on a previous battery charge to 19 to 48 months in the penitentiary by the very same judge that he attacked recently. Now, this is nothing to do with the attack. That's going to be separate charges handled by a separate judge. And I'm sure you get a lot more time in the penitentiary as a result. You attacking the judge in the courtroom and officers behind the bench. You're pretty much toast. Now, in the courtroom, his appearance was much different. And this is what they should have had him looking like from the very beginning. Let's check it out right here. Okay, there's your man with the shackles. His hands are bound up. They got a spit mask on him. They got him looking the way you should have looked from the very beginning. Why do I say that? Well, he has an extensive criminal background. All violent, all battery. He likes to fight people. So if you've been to prison twice for battery assault, deadly weapon assault, and you're being sent to prison for the very same thing again, maybe he should be shackled up. And I think he already been convicted at that point. So it wasn't like he was a free man, all this and that. He already been convicted. It's just a matter of, okay, are you going to go to prison or not? Are you going to get probation or not? So I'm glad they got him looking like this. Now, of course, some are going to say that's too much ABL. He's looking like a slave. Of course, that's going to be a thing. I've seen some think pieces about that. I've seen some posts on social media talking about, oh, well, I know he attacked a judge and separated a cop's shoulder, but so what? You shouldn't be like this. That's ridiculous. And you know what? That kind of thought process is probably why he was not shackled from the beginning, trying to please people, trying to placate people. And you see what that got? That got this man doing a Spider-Man leap over the bench and attacking the judge. Okay. A senior citizen woman and a bunch of other men got injured as a result of this guy sending people to the hospital. Anyway, I digress. Now, you saw what Judge Judy said. She's like, hey, I'm surprised he didn't straight up get deleted right there on the courtroom floor. How are you going to get that close and nothing really happens until way after? Now, let's check out. We got a lot to check out here. Let's check out the news from the update. You're going to see his entrance into the courtroom. You're going to hear from the judge. And I will link to this and Judge Judy and everything else in the box. If you're on IG, visit a link in the bio. Go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it. So look at your man. You hear him coming in with the chains. I mean, he looks pretty like Hannibal Lecter right there, but come on. He has a violent rap sheet. He has an extensive criminal history of violence. He likes to fight. Doesn't really care who you are, where he is, and he has diagnosed mental disorders. So someone like that, mental disorders, bipolar, schizophrenia, long history of assault convictions, not just allegations, but convictions. You got to take proper precaution, because if they don't do this, he could do the very same thing again. And then it's like, well, you guys are just sleeping at the wheel. Come on, let's be prepared here.
Mr. Almasi is here now.
Morning, Judge.
Good morning. All right, this is on for the continuation of Mr. Redden's sentencing. When we were last here, arguments were concluded and the court had begun.
So they were sentencing him last time. That was the whole purpose, but that got interrupted when he leaped over the bench.
Pronounced sentence when an incident occurred, an incident initiated by Mr. Redden, preventing the court from completing sentencing. That is the sole purpose for today's hearing. Any other issues that may arise from the events that occurred last Wednesday will be handled at a future date.
Because I think the whole thing was they were having a conversation, Miss Mary Kay Holtis and the defendant, Deborah DeLone Redden. they were having a discussion about, okay, should he get probation? Should he go back to jail? And she's like, look, you got so much on your record here. You got so much. I can't just let this go. I can't give you the probation. I can't let you out. That caused him to snap before she actually got to the part where she sentenced him. So now they're continuing what happened before and giving him the sentence of 19 to 48 months in the penitentiary.
A different court. For purposes of the record, I want to make it clear that I am not changing or modifying the sentence I was in the process of imposing last week before I was interrupted by defendant's actions. All right, that being said, in accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court does now sentence you in addition to the $25 administrative assessment fee, $150 DNA fee, the $3 DNA administrative assessment fee, and $250 indigent defense fee, 19 to 48 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. How much credit for time served does he have?
It's 0 days. He was on probation when he committed the offense and was revoked on probation to serve the jail time.
So he was already out on probation. So it was like, you violated your probation. So you got convicted and you had violated your probation. Come on, you were going to go to the penitentiary. And that's a pretty scary look right there. It really is. But obviously the elevator's not going all the way to the top floor. He's a few screws loose, which is why he should be looking like this. Again, some are going to say, oh, well, that's not right. They got him shackled up, looking like a slave. Man, at the end of the day, it's not even about none of that. It's about safety. Okay. You attacking the judge in the courtroom and you got a violent criminal history. You were on probation, violated that with another violent crime. I mean, come on. I'll leave that right there in the box. Let's go to Judge Judy and see what she says. Shout out to Judge Judy. She had a few remarks about what's going on there. You never see anybody act up in Judge Judy's courtroom because a lot of them are actors anyway, but that's a different story, and I digress.
The convicted felon who just recently attacked a judge in Clark County.
I saw the video.
Insane. What are your thoughts on that?
I was actually shocked that this defendant managed to get as far as he did without somebody shooting him. But it probably happened in a second.
So fast.
Happened very quickly. Absolutely. They probably didn't. They weren't ready. They were not prepared. They were not ready for him to do that. Again, he was having a casual, cordial conversation. All of a sudden, boom, now I'm over the bench and I'm fighting. But again, if you see his track record, you had to be ready for that. And unfortunately, they were not ready for that. But they're ready this time, for sure. They were absolutely ready this time.
That once he was there, there were too many people. But I was actually shocked that somebody managed to get as close to her and on top of her. I dealt in the family court with some issues that were at least as profound as being jail sentenced.
Let me get a fair use right here. It's E. Hopefully they don't give me no copyright on this. Shout out to E! News for this. You see the title of this clip, Judge Judy weighs in on viral judge attack, exclusive with E! News.
Terminating parental rights, abuse of children. And there is always that risk that somebody will act out, and you just have to hope that you have support staff that will get there before they get to you.
I mean,
yeah, and the family court system, definitely. You're talking about people's kids being taken away from them, all kind of stuff like that, really sensitive things going on. That's when it can get really crazy, and I've seen some of that play out. Divorce court, oh man, I've seen some things play out in a lot of these clips that get really disturbing. Courtroom security is most certainly a priority in those kinds of environments.
he had like perfect
He was like a projectile.
Yes.
He was like a projectile. And that kind of anger and total lack of self-control is so dangerous. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of danger. Because he was there for a battery.
Right.
Exactly. All right. So that's that. Shout out to E. Shout out to Judge Judy. And that's pretty much that on that. But yeah, as I close, I want to say this. I'm glad they got proper security this time. They got a lot of officers right next to him. They got him in shackles. They got him on the spit mask. They got his hands bound up. That's what it should have been from the beginning. At the bare minimum, just some shackles, handcuffs. Just be handcuffed and have your legs cuffed. Okay, the spit mask and all of that, that might be a little bit over the top, but it's not over the top because when you do something like that, and he might have bit somebody at the process, because, you know, I know that he hopped over the bench and was attacking people, but I don't know exactly what he was doing. Now, if you're crazy, off of your meds, you got some serious problems, history of battery, you could be back there biting and pinching and scratching and clawing, and you don't know the person got some kind of infectious disease he could spread by spitting and biting and clawing. So I think that was the appropriate measure considering what he did. But before that, even if they didn't know that he was going to wild out like that, there should have been at least some shackles on his hands and feet. That would have been enough, in my humble opinion, to prevent what happened from happening. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on what happened here? Do you think that this was the appropriate measure after he did what he did? Should have done it from the very beginning, considering his track record? How you feel about what Judge Judy said? She's surprised that nobody was able to actually delete him before he leapt over the bench. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I agree with Judge Judy. I agree with getting them in the proper restraints. But again, if you're able to understand who you're dealing with beforehand, you could prevent this kind of thing from happening in the first place. Don't worry about trying to appease the woke crowd. Oh, he's looking like a slave. You can't do that. Blah, 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 blah. Don't worry about the outside noise. The first priority should be the security of everyone inside of a courtroom and anywhere else in the US of A. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.